else?
I'm curiously, Joe.
Yeah.
How will you identify what will be what will be the best industry for you to, for example, actually I don't know I don't know what industry of business should I involve in. Is there a way that is there
Okay,
what do you
so
call this,
you are trying to identify which sector,
industry? Yes,
yes,
business.
which kind of business you would get into. But
Yes.
Ezra, that depends on what kind of. Say, I'll tell you something. Investment, business, uh, all these things should excite you. It should. It should. For me, I can talk about this because it excites me. I can talk about business because business excites me, and certain aspects of business, especially the satisfaction of seeing people uh, benefit from what I have offered them. These kind of things excite me. So anything that you want to get involved in as a business or as an investment, it should excite you. If you have I don't know if you watched Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, any of these shows on maybe YouTube or on TV.
No, I haven't.
Okay, you should watch these. Watch any one of these, because on YouTube you can just go to Shark Tank. You can just look for Shark Tank videos, or you can just look for Dragon's Den videos. So if you watch any of those, you will see that every investor at one point or this is a show where people come and they pitch ideas or they pitch their existing business for cash. You try to get investment, you try to sell your equity on the show, and many times sometimes the investors say, I'm sorry, this one is not for me because it does not excite me. The idea of working with dog food, for example, the idea of working with dog food doesn't excite me, so I will not invest. Or sometimes they say, oh, you are a very investable person because you have the energy, you have the knowledge, you have the right kind of mix that makes me want to work with you. And that is because each person, when they come and they pitch their business over there, it is how genuinely excited you are about that business. And that excitement is really what will keep you, because the most important thing of getting into business, getting into investment, is that you need to be able to have that kind of what do you call it, strength, inner strength, because you will face a lot of challenges. And if you want to face those challenges successfully, then you need to have that kind of excitement, that kind of motivation within yourself. So if you don't have that kind of motivation about the business that you're doing, then it is very difficult for you to survive those challenges. And so anything that you want to do, if you want to invest, if you want to start up a business, if you want to set up something of your own. It should be something that excites you. So, what exactly excites you in life?
Mm, thank you for that, Joe. Because I asked because to be honest, recently I got involved into some kind of network marketing business. Uh, because most entrepreneurs or businessmen said that um first, before you get into um you know uh they always said that you need to learn how to sell, right? That's why I let myself in to the network marketing business. And the learnings, the wisdoms that network marketing business gave me actually feel my curiosity, and also the questions of how the business really works, about the negotiation whatsoever. But when the time goes by, I don't actually feel the excitement of of I'm thinking that I want to sell my own product or my own thing. That's why that's why I ask if what industry should I get involved in.
Yeah, true. Like, let's say, if you uh, if you look at network marketing as a business, and I recommend that everybody get into network marketing, at least for a little while. Even Kiyosaki himself, he recommends network marketing for many, many reasons. And one of the most important reason is that you get sufficient field training and mentorship through network marketing if you get into the right company and the right team. You know, in my experience, I've seen different companies have different compensation plans, and some compensation plans are quite exciting, some are not very exciting. Then every company has a learning process associated with it, and some of the teams some of the teams from the same company, they do a good trainings, whereas some of the other teams, they do trainings to con. They do trainings to cheat. Now, if you get into the right team in the right company, you can be sure you will get a lot of training. You can be sure you will get a lot of field experience because you will talk to a lot of people. And just like Ben was talking to me in the beginning, uh, talking to people, getting into sales is one of the most important things when it comes to business. And this is something that we cannot avoid. This is something that we cannot. Yes, Manu? Okay. Sorry. This is something that we cannot forego in business. Yeah. We need to learn to sell. It doesn't have to be selling a product itself. It can be about selling an idea. It is about sales is about communication. So if we can communicate properly with the person on the other side, this is the most important learning that you would get from a network marketing company. It doesn't matter whether you make money selling their product or not. Of course, you have to try and sell the product. Only if you do it with sincerity, with conviction, you will be able to learn the process of the sales itself. But the most important thing is that uh, the team that you get into and the value system that they follow, this is the most important thing when you get into network marketing. If you get into network marketing and they are out to con people, then you will find yourself in trouble. But network marketing, Kiyosaki himself says, network marketing companies have great products. Great products because the the products sell by word of mouth. And if they have to sell by word of mouth, then they should have a great product. If they don't have a great product, then word of mouth doesn't work. It stops working after some time. But if you have a great product and your customers can generate great word of mouth publicity, and you can be excited about the product, then you can sell the product as well. And the team has a great role to play in maintaining the excitement levels. And one of the reasons why I always said team that helps you sell the network marketing product is, initially when you start sales, the setbacks are very difficult to absorb. You know, when you face a challenge, when you face a challenge, it is very difficult to overcome it with your own mental strength. Whereas if you have a team, the team will always motivate you, the team will boost you, because they also stand to benefit. It's a very nice system. So the team will motivate you not with fear, but with excitement, with more activity. So, and they will encourage you to overcome these challenges. They will encourage you to take up the challenges or new challenges. They will encourage you to move forward. And this is very important in the initial days when you start sales, when you're learning sales, when you're getting used to speaking to people, when getting used to speaking to strangers, when you are getting used to preparing your strategy, preparing your communication. Now, all of this is quite important when you have to do sales, and the team should help you stay motivated and to modify, to refine your sales approach, your sales communication. So this is why I would say, if you look at network marketing companies, if they have a great team, if they have a great product, and if they focus on teaching you to sell, then, and it is a growing team, of course, then it is a very good idea to join a sales. Is very good idea to join a network marketing team and learn sales. Of course, if you want to make money out of network marketing, this is going to take some time. So if you don't have a regular uh, source of income, if you don't have a day job, network marketing is not, or if you are, unless you are looking for uh, small money initially, at least, if this is not the case, then network marketing is not going to help you, because your focus will be on selling somehow. And selling somehow is a very difficult thing because we never learn where and we never learn the actual sales process. We never refine ourselves. Rather, we become desperate. We are pushed to what do you say? We are pushed to do the wrong things.
Yes, I agree.
uh, so the point is, when we are learning sales, we can't be in a position where we have no other choice. When we go into a network marketing company, you cannot make it your, at least in the initial days, you cannot make it your only revenue source. You have to have something that gives you a regular income, or you have to have a source of income which will be supplemented by the network marketing business. Anyway, that's one side of it. The other side of it is network marketing business. Once you learn sales from network marketing or by any other means, it doesn't have to be network marketing alone which helps you learn sales. Network marketing is a relatively good option, and it is available for everybody. So if uh, you learn sales by any means, whether it is from your regular job, whether it is from network marketing, whether it is because many people, their regular jobs are not associated with sales, and they have very little opportunity to learn sales. So which is why network marketing is a more general option to learn sales, because even an accountant can be in a network marketing team and learn sales, whereas as an accountant he may not have the opportunity to learn sales at his regular job. So
Mm,
once you learn sales, then you can look at what is it that is going to excite me, what is it that is going to uh, give me a kick out every day, what is it that I'm ready to face challenges for every day, because every day you will face challenges when you get started with your own stuff, when you get when you try and set up your own hustle. Every day you will face, every day you will face new challenges, and those new challenges, if you have to overcome them, then there is only one option, that is you need to be ready with what excites you the most. You wake up, you are ready, you are pumped up and say, okay, bring it on. That kind of when you have that kind of a feeling about something, that is when you get into it.
thank
The
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. The tough thing that most people face is the pressure. Even okay, the people around us, a lot of times they put us in a lot of pressure, performance anxiety. They would say, why don't you take up a job and then you can build your business alongside? Not a bad idea, but if you are really serious, you would want to dedicate your 100% time into your business. If you want a side hustle, then it's a totally different story. You can do anything part time. There are a lot of people who do a lot of part time things. I have a friend who works as an IT administrator with one of the companies. In his free time, he's a sound engineer. So IT by one side, sound engineer by another side. He does it on weekends. He does it after office hours. He's happy. He doesn't make much money out of it. He gets he is happy with to do it. It's like a hobby to him, and his hobby is making him a little bit of money, which is not so bad. But he doesn't want to make it a career, or he doesn't want to make it. He doesn't want to go professional over there. That's because he is not willing to face those challenges that come with the rest of with the other side of it. When he wants to do it as an establishment, then there are a lot of other things that come into picture as well. So that so the people around us put us in pressure, and once we get into that kind of pressure, either you are fighting those people, not literally, but fighting the ideas that they are trying to put into your mind. Either you're fighting them, and you are also facing the challenges in your own business, or you are feeling the pressure and you are ignoring your business and taking heeding to the ideas. You're listening to the ideas that your the people around us are saying. So in either case, if you want to be able to overcome these both these challenges at the same time, then this is the only thing. Yes, Ben, business school for people who like helping people. This is mostly focused on the multi-level marketing. Yes, yes, this is and it's very exciting. The first couple of chapters where he says, okay, there are so many different ways of getting rich, and one of it
Yes,
is,
I also read that book. That book.
you saw that book?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
You
very,
have to study that book. I'm gonna listen to it as much as possible. That's also a good one.
yeah, that's a really nice one, especially the first
My, my
uh
favorite investing book.
sorry, didn't hear you.
The, my favorite book for today is the Guide to Investing. I'm listening to it
Okay, okay.
every.
Rich Dad's Guide to Investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So industry itself, okay, well, Ezra's question was I think, Ben, you missed that. Ezra's question was basically, which industry should I invest in? What should I do? Which industry should I do something of my own from?
Yeah, yeah. I heard that.
You heard that. Okay, all right. All right.
Mm.
Good.
Thank
I
you,
think
Lijo.
Okay,
the,
you're welcome.
the thing is, like you said, what excites you, right?
Yes.
When you choose, if you choose what excites you, then there are multiple ways, there are multiple paths in the type of business you choose. Like if you go into network marketing, then you have to choose what kind of business, what kind of company you have to choose, right? If
Yes.
you go into real estate, what type of real estate are you going to, everything has its own headache, basically. So
Exactly.
you have to first choose your category
Yes.
of your excitement, then choose your headache, basically, because everyone has different ones. So
You could do it the other way also. You could go the other way also. Like you could think, uh, okay, when I look at where I spend my time, where I invest my time, uh, I always look at what excites me personally, and then the industry becomes insignificant. Like what drives me, for example, is top priority is helping people. I need to be able to see satisfaction with whoever I'm dealing with. So that's number one. Number two is I want to be able to help many people, like involve many people, make sure that anything that I do is can support. Uh, like you say, everybody can't be into business. Somebody has to work. Somebody has to be employed, and somebody has to be an employer. So I'd like to be an employer where many people can get a chance to build their life based on the employment that I provide. So these are more important to me. And so when I look at where I can add value, and okay, again, I need to be able to share with people. I need to be able to train people. I need to be able to pass on everything that I've learned, acquired, experienced. So again, more people is looks better to me. So when I look at something, I look at a business where a lot of people are involved. Like say, for example, if you look at a supermarket. Okay, I'm not looking at a supermarket, but as an example, when I look at a supermarket, I see a lot of people working over it. So that is an exciting business, or that is uh, a business which fits several of my options, several of my requirements to get into business. The other side, when I look at education, I'm into education, and the one of the biggest reasons I'm into education is that it is something that transforms lives. It is something that transforms lives, and of course, I make money out of it. That is a different thing. But the primary thing is when you educate somebody, you are making life better for everybody. So for me, that is like helping people, that is changing lives, that is involving a lot of people, that is you need tutors, trainers, you need people who can teach and support in teaching. So a lot of people are involved. So education excites me, not because it is a profitable industry, because wherever I can find excitement, whatever factors excite me in life, I can find those opportunities in the industry segment, which is education. I can also, I also like, say, for example, wholesale of food wholesale, food materials wholesale. So I have planned out a business where we collect organic vegetables from organic farmers, bring them to a central hub, start distributing them through our own network. So this again involves a lot of people, supports a lot of people, supports the local economy, supports the local farmers, encourages them, creates a market for the local organic farmers, encourages them to produce more. So all this excites me. So I don't choose the industry based on my preference is not the industry. My preference is my personal uh, excitement, my what my personal
Joy
values could say.
and joy.
And joy, yes, yes. Right. So it could be either way. You could choose the industry first and then go with what exactly will I do in that industry, where exactly will I add value in that industry. Or you could say, what value can I add, what brings me the most happiness, and how can I get into any particular industry, where in that particular industry will my happiness lie? Can't hear you, Ben.
No, the kids don't want to sleep. They just
Okay.
bugging me.
Same here. Mine is right behind me. Come here.
Du kommer till att titta på dig fort.
He is almost sleeping, but doesn't
Good night.
say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Go to sleep.
Sleep tight.
Sweet dreams.
He's almost asleep, but doesn't want to. Ah, there.
I don't know if you saw that, but both of them are up.
But tomorrow is Sunday. They can take the
Yeah.
day off. They don't have anything specific to do.
I let the oldest one be up late yesterday
Okay.
just to eat, and I told him, if you're gonna be a pain in the butt tomorrow, you're not gonna sleep late ever again.
Ow! I can't see English.
I put them to bed. Okay, I'll be back.
No, it's all right. You know what? This is a very good example. Now you cannot threaten children or you cannot entice children for a future benefit or a future this one. Their memory span is very small. They are only concerned about today. They are only concerned about now.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to entice them about a future benefit or a future threat.
Mm.
And this is also something that we need to remember when we get involved with any kind of business. Because
Mm.
the most important thing is what is happening right now. What is happening tomorrow, whether it is a benefit or it is a threat, it is not really as important as what is happening right now. Just want to say that when the kids showed up. Okay, I have to go to bed. Good night. Good night for the last time. All right. Hey guys. Good night. No good night.
Doing there. What you doing?
They don't want to sleep.
Okay, you want to play some cash flow?
No. Come on, snap it.
Yeah. Nice. Bara engelsk. Only English.
No.
Okay. What did we just say?
No.
The only word he knows is no.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're only concerned about now, right?
Yes, they are only concerned about now, and that is something that we need to learn
Yeah,
because
that's
we tend to think too much ahead and too much into the future that we forget the current situation.
Yeah. What I follow, I follow the. I don't know if you read the book, The Power of Now.
The Power of Now. I've heard of the book. I've seen the book. I haven't picked up one yet.
That's one of the books that really opened my mind to the now. I've never read anything but that one, and my mind was blown. And then I started focusing more on being here and now, like the children are all the time. And I remembered how I was when I was a kid. I'm like, man, I never thought about nothing, not even a day ahead, you know. And I miss that. So you're right.
Okay. Shall we go into the game, or you need more time? Hey, okay. Hi, Ronil.
Hello,
Welcome back.
welcome. I think
Okay,
he's muted.
can't hear you yet. Muted. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, hi. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now you're loud and clear.
I wanted to apologize. I know I joined a little late and I put in the request and I was waiting to be let in. But Lijo is aware I'm not I was going through some situations.
No.
But I just wanted to pass by and say hi to everyone and let you guys know that I'll be more active now since I am doing much better.
Excellent, excellent. You know, like you said, we were just discussing. I failed to know. Have you been waiting for too long in the waiting room?
It is maybe 33 minutes.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
But it's okay because I
I'm
put in
I'm
no,
so
it's okay.
sorry.
I put in the request and I started doing other things while I waited, so it's okay.
No, I didn't notice. I didn't notice that you were waiting over there.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Just now I saw that, and because I was doing most of the talking over here. So
There's a way to have other administrators at the same time that could maybe watch stuff like that, and if someone wants to join, and we can also help.
that would be good. Actually, if somebody else would host the meeting and we could all join, that would be nice.
I
And
think the host can pass the hosting to the other participant.
I
really,
mean, like
Yes,
a
there's a
co-host.
option there. Yes,
okay.
co-host.
All right, okay. Oh, that's okay. You're right, right. There, change the host to Ezra. There you go.
I've seen Zoom meetings where other people do different stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know even how this works.
I still have to get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that should be a setting that can be configured where you don't have to accept people and they just click on the link and automatically join. That way
That's
we don't,
possible as well, right?
yes, that way we don't have to be keeping an eye out, see who's trying to join or who's not.
Hmm.
Most Zooms are like that.
Okay,
Actually.
so next time I mean, after this, I will try and see how it can be worked out. I'll definitely
This
do
is
it. I'm
great
still
learning.
learning. Okay, yes, I agree. Now you should go to sleep. Don't worry about it. We are not concerned. Okay, we are concerned about you sleeping right now. All right, sorry guys.
No, it's okay. So just from what I read in the chat today's meeting, you guys did a game and you guys spoke over it step by step as you guys played it.
No, I've been recording this meeting from the beginning. So I think after this we'll post. We were just talking about, okay, we spoke about two things. One is the importance of sales in and getting into sales training by any means. So and we discussed network marketing as one option for that. And of course, sales training through any other option is also as good, equally good. The other thing that we discussed was how to get, I mean, how to choose which industry to get into, or what to do as your, what to choose as your investment industry sector, or whatever you would want to call it. So in that that was the last thing that we were discussing, and we said it could be either an industry that excites you, like say if you are an electronics person, or if you are a science person, then it could be something related to science that you would build something on. So then you can, so if industry is something that excites you, then you could figure out how exactly your skills or your abilities can fit into that. So you can go down from industry down to exactly what am I going to do in that industry. Or the other way around is, what are my values? How do my values excite me? And how can I use this excitement in any industry that I come across? So you could go both ways. So this works. I mean, different people do it different ways, but the ultimate thing about any investment, any involvement with industry is the excitement part, the ability to overcome challenges, to be motivated, to stay strong in the face of challenges, in the face of criticism, in the face of pressure. So when you go through any of these, the best thing is to have either a team that can motivate you, or if you that's what happens in network marketing. If you're in a good network marketing company and a good network marketing team, then the team helps you stay motivated, the team helps you stay focused with your goals. Whereas if you are in an industry by yourself, and if you have that kind of excitement for what you're doing, then you are self-motivated, then you are strong by yourself. And especially if you have faced a couple of challenges and have lost, like say for example, I lost my 1, 2, 3 businesses eventually, not immediately, but eventually, over a course of some over a course of 1 year, some over a course of 5 years, some after 9 years. So I lost a few of my businesses. But
Well, that's
every time I lost a business, it helped me look back and figure out what I didn't do right, or what I could have done better. So it only motivated me to get into something which is better and bigger. So self-motivated is one of those things.
I
Anyway,
wanted
so
to- Mhm. No, I just wanted to thank you for sharing that, and that's actually something inspirational. How you failed, but yet you still keep striving to succeed, and you don't let that put you down. There's people that they invest themselves in one thing and they fail, and then they give up and they get scared. But that's actually something admirable from you. So I just want to thank you. And not many people share that they fail, because that honestly, that's embarrassing. Like no one wants to say, "Oh, I failed at this," or "I failed at that." People sometimes hide those things, but that's actually something good that you shared, and I want to thank you for that.
you're welcome. And that is, say again, I was talking about what excites me. One of those things that excites me is being able to share my experiences so that others would benefit out of it. And this is one of the reasons why I want to get into business after business, because that would be one way to transfer the skills that I have acquired along the way to somebody else, and make sure that I have new challenges to scale. When I had my staff, I used to tell them. I mean, one of my staff, when I had my IT infrastructure business, I don't have it anymore. When I had my IT infrastructure business, I used to train people to become engineers or become skilled in technical activities. And one of my staff actually came up. He has worked somewhere else before, And he came up to me and said, "How do I'm surprised. How do you share so freely with me about everything that you have learned so far? You anything that I ask you about, you tell me how to do it or how it is done or why it is done, what what impact it could have if you do it in a different way. So all these things you are complete in your explanation. Most people, they hold back something just to make sure that they are still needed, they are still required in the equation. So I told him, when I take you one step further, I make sure that I myself move, I myself find something new to study, something new to learn, something new, a new skill to acquire. And I also make sure I stay one step ahead. So um, when I'm sharing with you something, I'm actually making sure that I am improving myself. So the next time I do have something more to share with you. It's not that I am sharing everything that I have with me and then I don't have anything more to say. I always make sure that I move ahead. Uh, I learn something new every day, or I pick up something that is worth keeping, sharing uh, the next time I meet the same person.
Thank you.
So that is something that I try. And one of those things is, and that is what makes sharing so exciting for me. So when I share something, I know that I'm challenging myself and I'm challenging somebody else to come up to stand on my shoulders. And then I'm making sure that I'm growing taller than my shoulders myself.
Yeah, I think it's important to share not only for the reasons you've mentioned, but also sometimes when we read something, or let's say we read a book, we interpret things a certain way, and that's just human nature. It's just the way each person individually understands things differently. And when you share, sometimes from listening to yourself talk, you see things a little different. And sometimes just the feedback the other person gives you makes you think and see things differently. So you might say,
True.
wow, like I didn't see that. Like I saw it this way. So I
True.
think that's important as well.
Like today, I got to know that I can make somebody else the host, and I can create a meeting where I don't need to keep watching who's trying to participate. I don't need to keep people waiting in the waiting room anymore. So it is exciting. I mean, even small things. And one of the best things that has happened to me is many places where I worked, since I was educated, and people working for me or people working under me were uneducated. They they rank wise, they fell under me, but age wise, experience wise, they were far above me. And so I had the freedom to go and uh, you know sit with them and learn, uh, acquire their experience. There was this guy in my first job. I was the second in my department, and there was a very elderly person. Uh, Quite, I think the age difference between us would have been about at least 20 years. He was at least 20 years older than me, and but he was highly experienced. Of course, 20 years of experience, and he was into refrigeration, he was into heating, he was into laboratory equipments. And so my job was as the assistant biomedical engineer of a hospital. So whenever this person would go and uh, try and do something technical, I would go and sit with him. I would be his assistant. And then in that process, I would learn more than what I would learn in my university about at least a few topics that he was very well versed with. And that was some of the best experiences that I've had in terms of learning, and especially in terms of learning from people who are lower in rank but higher in experience. And that happens everywhere. It is learning is everywhere around us. Just have to be ready and open to picking it up.
Yeah, that's important. Just being able to let yourself get teached. Some people, they get offended when you tell them, oh, I see things different, or maybe if you do this way, it's a little better. Some people don't like that, but you just have to be open and know that you don't know everything. Even though you think you're really smart, sometimes we're just wrong in the way we think.
Yes,
I just wanted to ask you, Licho, the recording, are you going to put it in the group chat so I can watch it and catch up for next meeting?
definitely, definitely.
Okay.
Shall we? Ezra is still awake?
Yes, yes. Wide awake.
Okay, all right.
It is 3:22 a.m. but still.
Okay. All right. Shall we go into a game now, or how does it work?
Sure, sure.
Okay. So I'm creating a game. And,
You guys started?
right. Okay, there's 4 of us. I will create a game with 4 and a password of cash flow. Okay, cash. Okay, cash is good. Okay, I created a game called cash flow, and the password is cash, all small, cash. Okay, I see you, Ben, Ezra. All right.
Give me a second. I'm trying to join.
Is it okay for me to not share my screen because I'm only using my phone?
All right, that's all right. All right, excellent. Let's get switch off the audio and
Does Reniel know how to buy the big deals
I'm
or
not sure. We'll figure out.
the big deal strategy? Right.
We'll figure out. Okay, I was on charity. Next, Right. Okay, Ben, can you share? All right. Okay. Okay, engineer. Okay, all right. Okay, now one of the questions that since Charity came up, okay, you have to stop sharing and allow Ezra to share. Okay, Ezra is not sharing anyway. Right. So one of those things that keep coming up as a question. I mean, this came to me as a question. This came to my mind as a question sometime back, and that is, do we pay charity or not?
If I have a positive cash flow, I pay the charity in rat race.
Excellent. Especially when you start playing negative payday, the question is, if I pay charity, what is the benefit? Because you can't move two. Every time you roll two dice, you get into trouble because you may pass a payday and you will lose money. So what you said is right, Ezra. If we have a positive payday and you have sufficient cash, you pay for charity. If you have a negative payday, you don't pay charity. It's, I mean, you could just, Ben travel. Okay. Ronel, could you share your screen, please?
I'm trying to see, where do I share screen?
You're on a laptop, right?
Yes.
Okay, just move your mouse and you should be able to see the share screen option.
Oh, okay.
And choose only the game.
Guys,
Yeah.
my I had to go out and drive, so my Wi-Fi just threw me out of the game because I went out of my house.
Okay, okay.
And I know you cannot join back because of the password, so I'm out of the game.
Okay. Okay.
I could come back if we start again, but right now I know the Wi-Fi is gonna be a little trouble.
Okay, no worries. We'll when you get back, when you are not driving, when you get back, we'll send you the link.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Problem.
I don't think the link works because we have the password, but we can try.
We'll try. We'll try. We'll give it a shot.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, yes, we can see your screen.
Yes,
Yeah, I can
yes.
see.
Oh, okay.
Now go ahead and okay, choose your dream, the regular stuff. Okay. Okay, go to a big deal. So we'll start with analyzing the big deals. This is the first big deal of the day. Okay. All right. So do you play for sale? Now you have to look at everything that is mentioned over there. Everything that is mentioned. This due play is the best in the neighborhood, which means it is commanding a premium. Okay. Proud owner retiring to another state. So proud owner. Now these are all hints that Kiyosaki is giving us when we need to go into a deal. Now, if you are looking at Duplay in the best neighborhoods, then it's going to be expensive. If you have, if the owner is, like he says, a proud owner, he is proud of the way he has maintained his house, he is proud of the way he is been established in that neighborhood, then he is going to ask for a premium. So proud owner retiring to another state to be near her grandchildren. So if you look at the Duplay, the cost per unit, it's a Duplay, so that's 2 units. Cost is 70,000, which means cost per unit is 35,000. Now here again, like last time we mentioned, you have to do your market research. And in the game, the market research is about seeing the different kinds of deals that the different kind of market cards and the different kinds of pricings for the deals. So if you look at the deals for Duplays or Plex units, you will notice the lowest cost that you can buy a Plex is at $20,000, and the highest that you can sell it at when it comes to a Plex is $35,000. Now this one is selling already at 35,000, which means it cannot go higher in the valuation, in the market valuation, which means if you buy it at 35, you would end up selling it at 35. Now, in the first segment of the game, the rat race is in 2 segments. This we discussed last time, so it could be a repetition for Ben and Ezra, but since Ronil was not there, I'll just quickly run through it.
No worries, man.
Okay, there are 2 parts to the game in the rat race. The first part is where you have to make capital gains. If you need money, you need to generate cash, and that you can only do through capital gains. You cannot depend on your salary. You cannot expect your payday to accumulate enough cash to help you do the big deals. You have to go into leverage. If you have to go into leverage, you have to make sure that going into leverage is going to pay you back within a reasonable amount of time. Now this is where Ezra, the method that you sent me, this is where this comes in, because it is going to look at, it is a little complicated. It is a little complicated in the sense it looks at how many moves to the next market card, how many, it looks at statistics and possibilities. So it's a little complicated. We'll keep it aside for a while, and we'll look at just the basics today. So the first part of the game, the first part of rat race is to generate cash. So if you have to generate cash, you have to make capital gains. If you have to make capital gains, then the most important principle about making profit that Kiyosaki says, you can only make profit when you buy, not when you sell. Have you come across the statement, Ronil?
Yes.
Yes.
So in this case, since we're buying for the same amount we would be able to sell, we won't have any capital gains.
Exactly. So that is the most important thing. We buy in profit. when you need capital gains, when you're aiming at capital gains, you buy in profit. So this is not a deal where you could buy in profit. So now if you still need to deal, if you still want to deal, then the next thing that you could look at is it generating cash flow? If it is not giving me capital gains, at least is it going to give me cash flow? So when I look at the cash flow, it's now this is where we Ben had a difficult time last time, but I think he got over it. Now, when I look at cash flow, I always look at what is my down payment, which is actually the amount that I'm investing into it. So I look at the down payment, I convert it into 100,000. And so equivalently, I convert my cash flow into the equivalent of a down payment of 100,000. And I see, or rather, I look at whether I can get 5% over my cash flow, 5% returns on my down payment. Because let's say if you take a loan for your down payment, what are you getting on?
I was just doing the math, sorry.
Yeah, I got it, which is very good, which is one of the most sacred rules of the game. If you want to learn it, you have to have a calculator right next to you.
Yeah,
Yes, when you're playing, if you want to make the best of the game. So that would have been
so 5% of the 7,000 is 350.
yes,
So
this would have been 2%, right?
Yeah, like 2.3%.
2.3, yeah. So that would be too low. So even if you, let's assume, take this scenario, you are getting 5% cash flow on your down payment. Even then, you investing this cash or you taking a loan is not actually going to justify, because your loan rate is 10%. You are taking a loan at an interest rate of 10%, and you are only getting a cash flow of 5%. So this is where you have to be this is where your decision making has to kick in. Your decision making capability has to come in, and you have to develop that thought process where in the game am I? Am I too early in the game, or am I too late in the game to make this investment? If you look at if you have seen, okay, one of the classic scenarios is one player has already exited into the fast track. Yeah. So one player has already exited into the fast track. That means you are late in the game, or one player is almost into the fast track. You are too late to make an investment that gives you a return that is lower than 5%. Because the chances of you making, okay, here's what happens. I think we discussed this on the club over the chat, but I'm not sure whether we mentioned this last video session or in the chat. Say when there are more players in the market, when there are many players in the market for a particular industry, for a particular product, it is easier to sell the product. because everybody is educating the consumer, everybody is educating the end customer about the product. You don't have to spend too much effort, or you don't have to spend too much time in educating the customer about your product. Rather, if you have a very unique product, like say, for example, in the game, if you have come across this shopping mall or 20 acres land, these are part of the big deals that you will see. If you have seen the 20 acres land or the shopping mall, there is only one market card which requires it. So if you buy the 20 acres, it's a big gamble whether the market card will show up or not, because the 20 acres land does not have any cash flow associated with it. It's zero cash flow. And but the capital gains are very good. The capital gains, I think, you get about 5 times the capital gains. So which means it's a really good, and this is where your method kicks, ROI method kicks in, Ezra, because if you are getting returns of 5 times, and you are the ROI method calculates within how many turns, how many times will you spend money on the leverage part before you can actually make the capital gains. Okay, that's a different topic. Let's not get diverted. Okay, so when those topics come up, when those deals come up, the what happens is you can pick up those deals if you have sufficient cash. But if you don't have sufficient cash and you go into leverage just for these deals, the possibility of that market card coming up and you making money is very rare, just for the fact that there are not many customers for that product. So if you have competition, it is very good because they do the market education for you. Now, in the face of competition, you are also challenged to differentiate yourself. So if you want to differentiate yourself, you have to work harder, which is okay. So let's not get into that. That is, let's come back to this deal, and then we will discuss the rest in the next deal. So this one gives you only 2.3% cash flow, and it does not offer you any capital gains. So this is a deal which you would stay clear of in the game as well as in real life.
Okay. Oh, and just to clarify, it was 2%. You're correct. It's not 2.3, it's 2.
Okay, all right. Now I do mental maths most of the time because I keep talking and I calculate alongside. All right. Okay, so can you stop screen share?
Stop.
Same way.
Oh wait, did it work?
No.
Oh, pause share.
Go to your Zoom window.
Okay. Are you guys seeing my screen now?
Still, yes. Okay, let me request.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Oh, all right. Okay. No.
Oh, stop share. I see.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. Right.
I get kicked out of the game.
Ezra, yes. Okay, let me post the link for the game.
Okay.
Right, copy.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't work. But if it doesn't work, then we have to not use password next time.
Okay. The problem is if we don't use a password and
I know. we have double trouble here.
Yes. Were you able to get back in, Ezra?
I hope so. Then I'm able to get back.
Yeah.
No, I can't get back.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I.
All right. Okay. So let's just continue with the game, and we'll keep Runiel and me will keep screen sharing.
All right.
Cool. I'm almost home, so
Okay.
just continue.
All right. So role, okay, market card, limited partnership. Okay, limited partnerships. Now, limited partnerships give you some kind of cash flow, but mostly they demand very huge investment from you. If you, is everybody still here? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. My Zoom suddenly did something, and I was a little
It
worried.
looks frozen.
Ah, okay. But you can hear, right? And you
Yeah.
can see. Okay, I'm not doing anything on the screen anyway, so
I can see you as well.
okay. All right. Okay. Excellent. So limited partnerships. This is just regular good business. If you sell, you get at least double. And I would advise, if you pick up a limited partnership, it is always best to pick up more than one.
Yeah.
Because if you want significant, that's about the game. Okay, if you want to make money on it, then because most of the time limited partnership, if you have something for $20,000, it demands that you pay the full $20,000, which means you are paying and taking equity in in someone's business, which is not a bad thing. But I would say, okay, in the game, it's always best to pick up more than one. That is for the game. But in real life, it is good to pick up different partnerships. The reason being that you can insure yourself against the bad performance of one with the equity in another. It's just diversification within partnership, within the equity that you acquire. This is exactly what they are doing on Shark Tank or Dragon's Den. These are investors who have their own business ventures, plus they are looking at picking up investment opportunities in other people's business, where if you notice in this limited partnership, even in the game, you don't do anything. It is not asking you to the game is not asking you to involve yourself in the business. But on the other hand, you are required to put in the full amount of money. In real life, though, you could there could be opportunities where you commit a certain amount, and you see this again on Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. You could see this in action. So you commit a certain amount, but you are only required to share that amount, or you are only required to invest that amount gradually In the game, of course, you have mostly 100% investment at one shot. But in real life, you do get you can negotiate. Now, this is an opportunity to negotiate your cash injection at different stages of the different stages of the development of the business. You don't have to, unlike the game, you don't have to put in all the amount, the whole amount of cash in the beginning itself in real life. Okay, so Runil, could you share your screen? All right.
Can you guys see it?
Yes. Go ahead, roll.
Yes, yes.
Okay, big again. All right. Now, sharp contrast. You remember the last deal. Now, again, the description of the deal itself says tenant in place at this investment due play. So which means there's already a better cash flow and you have less trouble in finding your tenant. Owner has income tax problems, needs to sell quickly, which means in the real market scenario, it would be called a distress sale. Distress sale is something that happens in two conditions. One is the financial situation of the, basically it is that the financial situation of the owner goes down, but there could be different reasons. One could be personal reasons, financial mismanagement and things like that. But the other could be that the drop in value that happens, like what happened in 2007, the meltdown of 2007, the recession, the real estate crash.
See. Sorry about that. My mom.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay. I thought you were trying to say something.
No
worries. So last time, I think, Ezra, did you get a chance to look up the 2007 meltdown?
Actually, no. Sorry.
Okay.
About the recession in 2007, right?
Yes, you should look it up, because it is something that is happening in our time. It is something that is happening in our something that we can easily relate to. So you should check it up. You should that you should include that in your market research. So okay, so if the financial situation of the owner has to go down, it could be a problem with the economy, or it could be a personal problem. Now here it says personal problem, and there is a distress sale. So the person needs to dispose this asset as soon as possible. But if you look at it, so he wants to sell quickly, which is why he has priced his sale lower than the best possible price that it can, best possible valuation that it can have. So you are getting one unit at $22,500. And each unit is generating $160 in cash flow. So which means it is not generating 50%. I mean, it is not generating 5% yet. Yes, it is. No, it is not generating 5% yet, but it's close to 5%. What is it generating, Ronil? 4 point something?
4%.
4%. Okay. So 4% returns and a possibility of capital gains, which means it is worth picking up this one because it is giving you both a cash flow which is very close to your target cash flow, but more than that, it is giving you what you need right now. And remember, Ben, we were just talking about the present. How we need to stay focused right now in business. So this is right now. Right now you need capital gains, and this deal can give capital gains right now. So that is the most important criteria to pick up the deal. Plus, added advantage, additional benefit, it is giving you a 4% cash flow for down payment of $8,000, which is not which is refundable, so we don't have to really worry about it. Go ahead, buy.
So I have a question.
Sure.
The loan will be for 10%.
Yes.
But we are only getting 4% from the cash flow.
Yes.
So there will be a 6% difference that we will be losing out of our pocket every month.
Yes.
The difference between the buying price and the selling price, which is our opportunity for potential gains,
Yes.
is you said each unit sells for 30,000 or 35?
It could go for 35.
40. Okay, so 45,000. So we're buying each one for
22.5.
500, correct? So 35 minus 35,000 minus 20.
12.5.
Correct. So 12.5. So then that means we have to get rid of this property before those 6% monthly reaches that 12.5. Because if it reaches that 12.5 and we sell, we break even. But if we go over, then we could sell and we're still losing money. Correct?
Correct. Correct. You're right. And this is where the importance of, now this is a very good point that you brought up. And Ezra, again, coming back to your method, the ROI method, this is exactly what your ROI method is helping us calculate, is what I understand. We'll analyze that deeply later. All right. So if we have to, yeah, go ahead. That's okay. Now I want to see your financial statement. All right. So earlier you had 880 as your payday. Now you have dropped to 500. Now, let's assume that you did not have any money, any cash, and you took 100% loan. Now, 8,000 is going to be your loan amount, and that means 800 per payday, minus 800 per payday. And the cash flow from this one is 320, which means 800 minus 320, that's 470. So, right, 470.
480.
480? 480, yes, sorry, 480.
No.
All right, so 480 and every month. So 480 times, now the maximum potential gains that we could make on this, the capital gains that we could potentially make on this is 12.5 times 2, which is 25,000. All right. So 25,000, and we need to deduct this 480 from this 25,000 that we would make. So let's make it, instead of 480, let's consider it as 500. It makes calculation easier. So we have the opportunity of going through the payday 50 times before we say we break even, which is a reasonable period for the game to turn up a market card for that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you,
That makes sense why you wouldn't buy it.
yeah. Plus, now if you want to connect it to real to the real markets. Now, if you look at the economic cycles, this is totally off. This is totally from Kiyosaki. If you refer to his books, I think I found it in Increase Your Financial IQ. And then I went ahead and did my own research. So we have what we call financial cycles. So if you look at the olden days, we had a financial cycle which used to go like 40, 50 years. Every 40 years or every 50 years, we would have a depression, we would have a recession, we would have an economic downturn. And then we would pick up from there and we would start moving. And the economy would become stronger. But these days, if you look at the economic cycles, you can see that the economic cycles have shrunk. They have become smaller and smaller. And if you notice, recently, the economic cycles are only 8 years or less than 8 years. What happened in 2007 was an economic downturn, recession, depression, whatever you want to call it, slow markets. And then the same thing repeated in 2015 and 16, which means the gap between the downturns or the time for the market to peak before it falls again is only about 8 years these days. It used to be 40 to 50 years, and then it became smaller and smaller. In 1970s, we had a meltdown, and then we had another meltdown in the 1990s, which means it came down to 20 years. And then now it has shrunk even further, and it has come to as little as 8 years. So which means if you buy in profit, let's say you get the most distressed sales of real estate or businesses, everything in the economic downturn, which means the best opportunity to buy in profit. Even now, if you look at the stock markets, you will see the most prominent stocks are at their lowest. The most prestigious stocks are at their lowest at the moment. So if you buy in profit, which means if you buy during the downturn and you hold to the to whatever is your product, whether it is real estate or business, if it is a business, you have to operate it properly. But if it is a real estate or gold, for example, or stocks, even stocks, if you buy in profit and you hold on to it, you will see that within this financial cycle, it will peak, and you will definitely have an opportunity to make capital gains on it. This is a this is a historical fact.
Okay, so just so analyzing the information that you just provided, this is just theoretical, just something that came to mind. With this recent financial meltdown, that I don't think it's over with the whole like COVID issue that's going on. The market dropped, it's recovered, but I don't think it's fully recovered. I think we're still waiting for the biggest effect of it yet. So with this meltdown, do you think that will shorten the period even more from like 8 years maybe to like 5 or like just something like that?
It is possible. The trend. Now, Kiyosaki talks about watching the trend. If you look at the historical fact, now, if you look at the economic cycles from, say, 1920s, that is where we start the Industrial Revolution and things like that, or a major technological advance. The major technological advancement happens from the 1920s. And if you look at it, that is the period has consistently become smaller and smaller. Now, what was 40 years became 30 years, what was 30 years became 20 years, what was 20 years became 10 years, what was 10 years became 8 years now. So with every impact and every development, that's how I would put it, every development that has the power to disrupt the industry. Now, if you look at the automobile industry, gasoline cars are moving out, electric cars are coming in, non-renewable energy is moving out, renewable energy is coming in. Now, all this is happening as disruptive changes to a particular sector. Now, if you look at it again, this is one of my favorite examples. Earlier, traditionally, you would expect that airline industry faces competition from other airline industries. So airlines compete with each other. But today, airline industry faces its biggest competition from not the airline industry at all. It is from the very industry that we are using to communicate to each other. IT, internet, video conferencing, business conferencing over the internet is posing the biggest challenge to airline industry. So a development in IT, a development in communication technology has disrupted the airline industry or the travel industry, the transportation industry. What was not possible to do without a business class ticket today is possible to do with a whole room of LCD panels, and then you could almost, I think you even have holographic image projection facilities where you actually get the feeling that the person is right in front of you. So an advancement in technology has disrupted the airline industry or the transportation industry. Now, these kind of disruptive developments are happening all along. These kind of disruptions are happening and the landscape is changing. Now, we had, now if you look at the real estate industry, earlier we had the construction followed how stable you could be, how strong your construction would be. Today, it is how fast can you dismantle the construction. How long would your building last would be the question a few years ago, like a few decades ago. Today is how soon can we demolish and remove it before we can construct the new, the latest, the highest, the tallest buildings. Because horizontal space is reducing. You are claiming more vertical space. Building construction, like 30 years ago, we would have very few high-rise buildings. But today, in any city, you don't think of anything but high-rise buildings. This is the kind of disruption that is happening. So, to answer your question, Ronil, I definitely think the economic cycle would reduce, would become smaller and smaller for two reasons. One is that historically it has reduced. So just simply by watching the trend, you could say it would reduce. Now, the other thing is that we are today at an age and time where competition or not competition, disruption in our industry, in one particular industry, is coming from unexpected other industries. And for this reason, the need to reinvent each industry is very important. And any industry that cannot reinvent itself will stagnate and lead itself to recession or lead itself to a breakdown without, in quite simple terms. And that today, each industry is developing very fast. Now, airline industry is facing a competition from communication technology. Automobile, the manpower, the job creation in automobile industry is facing challenges because of development in robotics. Robots are taking over jobs which earlier went to human beings. Now there is no need to, now again, if you look at specific skills, special skills like surgical skills, you don't need to develop a surgeon in your town, because robotics is going to help a surgeon from somewhere else to perform a surgery in your town. A lot of things, a lot of, like, technology is giving raising competition levels in different areas for skills, for manpower, for different for different things. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'd say the economic cycle will reduce, because you just can't predict where the competition is going to come in from, where the challenge is going to come in from, where the disruption is going to come in from. If you can't see it, then there is always a blind side. There is a blind side which says, which is very, however alert you are, somebody is going to come along and pitch something which is totally disruptive and unexpected to your industry. So because of all these reasons, it will shrink, and there is no doubt about it. The pandemic has just added fuel to the fire, that's all. It is not the pandemic itself that has caused this. It is the weakness of the system. And the weakness of the system is, I would say, exactly what Kiyosaki mentions. It is that we are all on fiat currency. The
Can you
value
repeat that? What currency?
fiat. Okay. Now, money and currency are two different things. Currency represents the current value of your money. Money, like say, um, if you look at the Indian rupee, the Indian rupee follows, what is it called? Mm, forgot that word suddenly. Reserves. Okay, the difference between if you look at the dollar is only guaranteed by the government of the US, which means the government, if you have faith in your government, then you would use your currency. On the other hand, if you look at the Indian rupee is based on I just forgot that word. It is not the term. It's called fractional reserves. Yes. Okay. The Indian rupee follows what you call fractional reserves. Now, originally, I think until 1975, 71, 1975 or 1971, Kiyosaki mentions that. I'm not very good with dates. But until 1971, the dollar also followed the gold standard or the silver standard, which means for every dollar issued, you expect a specific ratio of equivalent silver or gold to be stocked with the central bank, to be held by the central bank. Now, India still follows the system. Now, I think India's fractional reserves are 1:20, which means for every 20 rupees issued, there is 1 rupee worth of gold held by the Reserve Bank of India. Now, this system, when you look at money, money is a fixed exchange. Now, you know that if you pay 1 rupee, you will get 20 paise worth of, no, 5 paise worth of gold, which means for every 20 rupees that you pay, you get 1 rupee worth of gold. This is fixed. Now, if you change this ratio, you would still have to expect. Now, this is very, very nicely described in one of Kiyosaki's books, how this came to be. Because when people started digging up gold, and this gold was sent to the valuators for valuation, and then people started holding the gold and issuing notes which said, I have so much X amount of gold for Runil held with me in my safekeeping. I have Y amount of gold for Ben held in my safekeeping, and this is the worth. So they started issuing, these were the first currencies, he says. And then soon people started trading these notes. If I have 200 grams worth of gold being held by Ezra, and Ezra has given me a chit which says Ezra holds 200 grams of gold for me, and I owe Runil 200 grams of gold, I could simply pass on the receipt to Runil. Runil can encash it with Ezra if necessary. So this was how the system developed. Now soon, Ezra discovers that Lijo doesn't claim his 200 grams very often. And Ben doesn't claim his 300 grams very often. So I have total of 500 grams worth of gold. I can start issuing more notes, because the chances of Lijo claiming his 200 or Ben claiming his 300 is very rare. So rather, they would just simply keep exchanging the notes. Now, this is how the fractional reserves came into being. If Ezra feels, okay, the chances of me having to hold gold 200 grams at a time is sufficient instead of me holding all 500 grams. So he would hold 200 grams of gold, sell the remaining 300 grams, and issue notes for 500 grams to Lijo and Ben. So when Runil wants to collect 200 grams of gold from me, he is only actually collecting my receipt. And he goes to Ezra and says, I need the gold that is against Lijo's receipt. And Ezra issues the only 200 grams that he is holding to Runil, and hopes that Ben doesn't come to encash his 300 grams. This is how the fractional reserves work, and every central bank, every reserve bank which issues notes or money is depending on this. Dollar, on the other hand, is issued against government bonds. The government treasury bonds mention that the government is borrowing an amount of dollars from the central bank, and it owes back. Now, this owing back is never paid back, so the debt keeps increasing. One of the things that happens is during the 2007, we saw quantitative easing, QE, which means the government would put a bond again to the treasury, and the treasury would start printing money.
Quantitative easing.
Quantitative
Right.
easing, yes. Okay, now quantitative easing is nothing but you are diluting what value you have already in the market, because you're not putting anything back. You're not backing it up with any asset. If you are issuing $100 from the treasury and only putting a credit note over there, the credit note is only as good as the credit worthiness of the person putting the credit note. And in case of dollar, it only happens to be the government of US, which is creating this credit note. Anyway, so let's that's too far away from this, but coming back to coming back to money and currency. One of the reasons for inflation is that is not because your price is going up, is not because your valuation is going up, but it is because the value of your currency is going down. $1, what it used to buy, what $1 used to buy 10 years ago is not what $1 can buy today. It is the incapability of the dollar not the increase in price of the commodity. So if you could get an ice cream for $1 10 years ago, the ice cream, the value that the ice cream holds is still the same. But the ability of the dollar to purchase that ice cream at a value of $1 has gone down. So you need more dollars to purchase the same ice cream. This is what happens in an economic cycle. The purchasing power of your money drops. Now, this is where the whole thing started in economic cycles. So the purchasing power of your money goes down, and your commodity automatically inflates in value or drops in value. Sometimes it happens the other way around, that the purchasing power of your money increases, but you have shortage of money itself, because value is destroyed. In case of, let's look at this pandemic situation. People lost their jobs because there is a drop in value. The ability to produce is lost. When you lose the ability to produce, when you lose the ability to build, when you lose the ability to stay productive, you are losing value. So when you lose value, then your ability to sustain your employees doesn't exist anymore. Your ability to keep good on your promises, that's the right way to communicate that. When your ability to produce reduces, your ability to keep your promises also reduces, which means your value for your promise, the value for your promise is no more. And okay, so once you lose your value for your promise, then you are actually destroying value. Once you destroy value, then you have to start building it again. And this is what creates economic cycles. When you come to the point where, for any reason, when you come to the point where you're not able to keep good your promises, you destroy value. When you destroy value, you have to recreate the value. And every economic cycle is that's how it happens. It is a process of recreating value. Anyway, so cycles will repeat. Cycles will become shorter. How much shorter is very difficult to say, but definitely will become shorter, because that's how the trends are, and that's how the development is happening. Too far?
No, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing so then you can share yours.
Yes. Ezra is still awake.
Yes, yes.
Oh wow.
I'm still listening. Thank you for the informations.
Okay, I know sometimes this is one of the reasons why I suggest that we should keep reading, because the wider the reading, the more the observation, that is when it becomes easier to infer, easier to understand these dynamics, because these are very complex dynamics. It's very difficult to hold these connections together. And sometimes, I mean, you notice this in the markets. Sometimes when you expect the stock to go up, I think last meeting we discussed this as well. Sometimes when you expect the stock to go up, it goes down, and sometimes when you expect the stock to go down, it actually goes up. And these, the reason why we are not able to always predict what can happen is because the interdependence of these economic factors are very complex. We can only understand a certain level of them while discussing like this, but it is easier to it becomes easier when we start speaking the same language. And to start speaking that kind of language, you have to accustom with what happens in the markets, which means you have to do your market research. You have to discuss with people who are in the sectors, who are in the markets, so that these terms become very familiar as we use them. So every time there is a reference to a particular term, we can immediately understand the depth of the impact it has on our economy or our markets.
Yes.
So I'm going to share and roll. Okay. Okay. We've been at it for 2.5 hours. I think effectively we have done 2 hours today. And I think as a rule, we should discipline ourselves, and I'm sure we could, we'd be very happy to go on, keep going. Last time, I think we did 3 hours, 3.5 hours before we.
Actually, 4.
Yeah.
Last time 4.
Okay.
Yes.
He
For
stayed
hours
up.
of discussion.
Yeah. Ezra stayed up until it was daybreak.
Yes.
Right.
About 6 a.m.
Yeah. So I think you should catch some sleep, and I think we should make it a practice to wind up. I mean, we should get more focused and on the discipline part as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we could try is that this is such a topic that's so interesting and there's so much to talk about that it's so easy to get carried away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's better if we get more discipline, maybe set like a timer, and that way we can all better manage ourselves and know like from this time to this time I won't be in a meeting, and we could better plan our days.
Yes. And
Yes, yes.
one more thing is, I feel if it is going, I mean, this is the third session, and I think it has been improving and getting stronger. So we could suggest to make it a weekly meeting if we can all afford to do that, because if we are basing it on the game, we could repeat the inferences again and again. And even if we repeat the same thing, it just becomes stronger for us. If we miss out on one of them, you could be sure to cover it up in the remaining meetings. So I think we should increase the frequency. What do you say?
I will be okay with that.
I'm down for that.
Great. So let's fix it then. Every week, same time. So it becomes a practice that also that we know for sure that we are going in for this meeting at on Saturday, 18 hours GMT.
Actually, every time you discuss something that I'm not familiar with, I am researching about that. For example, last meeting, you give a insight about how to uh, get the market price of the real estate for about looking back 20 years ago.
Yes.
Right.
You read something about that?
Yes, I searched about that because recently I saw that the market price of the real estate properties dropping down. So, and looking to the graphs from historical graphs, right? I did some research about that, and also the terminologies that you said about the real estate. I also did a research. So now I learned I learned some new things also. That's why
You
I
want to
will
share
do
with
my
us?
research.
You want to share with us what you found about the trends of the 20 years, last 20 years, the pricing trends?
In real estate market here in the Philippines, actually, there's a huge market in the condominiums right now here in the Philippines because as you said, a lot of developers are claiming a property and building property vertical properties, not horizontal properties, right? So high rise properties. So condos are in demand here. Also, the what do you call this? The accessibility to the city for
Hmm.
the central business area.
Hmm.
Also, here in the Philippines is actually a traffic country. Yeah, meaning if we work here in the Metro Manila and we stay um in the rural place,
Suburbs.
yes, suburbs, it will take us 3 to 4 hours to get to our job. So we are we are wasting 4 to 8 hours of time just by traveling. So a lot of people here are investing on condominium units for the accessibility.
So that should have also given you the pricing trends. I don't know how it works in the Philippines, but in India, of course, last time I mentioned, in India it is very difficult to get actual price records from the government records because there is a lot of tax evasion, and because of tax evasion you don't actually see the real value of the property. The real transaction you do not see on the records.
Yes.
And so if that is the case with Philippines as well, I don't know, but if that is the case, then you will not see the real transaction or the real valuation at different points of time. But if you can see the valuation at different points of time, you can see that sometimes it climbs very high, very steep, and sometimes it does not go down, but it stays plateaued. It doesn't move up. It will the price the transaction value for a few years, maybe a couple of years, will stay the same. Or sometimes you will even see the price drop. If you are lucky enough, you will see the price drop, because price drop indicates distress sales. Price drops because most people, if they, you could even look at this. You could even look at how many transactions happen in this particular year compared to how many transactions happened in the last year or in the next year. So every year, year by year, you could look at how many transactions happened. If you see an increase in the number of transactions, that is when the economy is staying high. If you see a decrease in transactions, or if you see fewer transactions, that means the economy is riding low. So all these are indications, or all these are indicators where you can look at what is happening in the market. If you do your research, you pick up information. You say it is even possible to understand the financial cycles if you look at the number of transactions that is happening. Especially in real estate, if you look at the number of transactions that is happening, it is possible to predict where the current financial cycle is moving. If you see many transactions happening, it is a booming market. If you see fewer transactions, it is a bust market. And a bust market is the right time to look for property or look for assets that you can buy in profit.
Nice.
So Ezra, next time, if you can analyze your data, more carefully or more in detail, and you can share with us what you found, or how the trends are, that would be really good. That would be really encouraging, I think.
Yes, yes, yes. I will share it next time for you guys. So we can have some analytical discussions
Yes, yes, definitely.
for
And if
just for example, just for
yes, if you can make it, if you can put it into an Excel sheet or something, and you can share the screen, then it would be really nice.
yes, yes. I will do that. Okay, right. So
Okay, so I think we will call it to a close today.
we will call it a day. Actually, it's a day.
I don't mind, man. I could go 3 hours more.
But one of the most important things is to be able to say no, to be able to stop where you should be. And again, this is something that most people, especially when you get into your own stuff, and this is a mistake that I've done as well. There are times when you can close and minimize your losses. At times when you can stop and you can cut your losses, but your heart overrules your head, and you make those decisions which don't allow you to do what you're supposed to do. One of my businesses was running into a loss, and I was keeping it alive by through a loan with the bank, plus I was supplementing or I was injecting money. I was injecting cash from some of my other businesses. So I had two businesses at that time. One was doing good, one was doing very bad. And I kept on injecting money from the good business into the business that was not picking up, in the hope that I would be able to turn it around. On the other hand, the right thing to do would have been, as soon as I see that I'm not breaking even in my financial planning, and even after giving it a reasonable amount of time, I should have just stopped, thrown it out of my system and moved ahead. But I never had the heart to do that. I thought, okay, this is something that I've set up. This is something that I'm working on. This is something that I've invested so much of my effort into. Okay, leave alone the money. I've put in so much of, this was a great idea. It was a great idea. I still think it was a good idea, but it was an idea that was losing money, and I was unwilling to accept that. Just because of that, I lost about, it was not, I mean, I lost about $350,000 just on that business. I drained out about $350,000 on.
God damn.
Just that one thing.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, considering that
It's
the other
a good-
business that was pumping in the money was also my baby. So I was snatching from one baby and feeding another, which was dying anyways.
Mm.
So I should have resorted to mercy killing. I should have just given up on the one that was making losses, and I should have just moved on. And that is one of the, I mean, I'm glad I made that mistake, so I won't make it again.
Hopefully not.
That's what's important. As long as you learn from your mistakes, then there's no mistake that wasn't worth it. I mean, if you keep making the same mistake, then that's when it's bad. But as long as you learn, then it's something positive out of it.
Hey, for some it may take 10 mistakes. That's what I'm saying. Until they learn.
You either win or you learn. That's what I've heard.
Look at the guy who made up the light bulb, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Edison.
But
Yeah.
there is a difference in that too, Ben. I think Einstein said this: doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results is madness. Now, Edison said, I discovered 999 ways of how not
Different ways.
Sorry?
Different ways.
Different ways. Exactly. So if you are not changing something, you have to make small changes, try it out, small changes again, try it out. But if you are doing the same thing again and again, it is worthless. And
Madness.
that is when you have actually lost. When you are unwilling to change and you're expecting different results.
Stubbornness, basically.
Okay, guys, I have to get going. It was a pleasure meeting you. I think it's the first time I see you, Ben. Pleasure meeting you. And then
Nice to see you too.
we're going to continue this every Saturday, same time.
Every Saturday, same time. Let's do it.
Okay, sounds great.
No problem.
Cool.
Have a good day.
Not every 2 weeks.
Not every 2 weeks
Or-
anymore. Every week.
All right.
Every
That'll be-
Saturday we are going to take up every Saturday night sleep from you.
No problem. As long as I learn.
Yes, you know, we all learn. We all learn together.
Yes.
Cool. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
One more thing.
Sure.
The recording.
Yeah.
We're
Yes,
gonna get
it is.
that.
Yeah, I've been recording the whole thing, and now I need to figure out how this works. I need to figure out whether I can edit the first few portions because most of it was silent. And I don't want people to get worried whether there's a soundtrack or not. So
Yeah.
I'll figure out and I'll post it up. I'll post it on the
Awesome.
cloud somewhere, and I'll post a link to the club.
Yeah, and another thing is we need some entrance music. That would be also really good.
Okay, we'll try and figure out something. If you have any suggestions, you can send it to my WhatsApp.
Yeah, we could work on it and find the best one or whatever, or change it or something.
We'll help each other.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Eye of a Tiger. Dun, 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 dun. Nah, just kidding. All right, guys.
All right. Okay.
Take
then.
care.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Take care. Yes.